Hey guys, welcome to the Sim Racing Paddock. I'm William Marsh, and we are going to be driving in RaceRoom. But first, notice anything different? We lately have been doing some renovations into my garage, and I'd like to give a big shout out to my sister and her boyfriend for helping clean stuff up around the garage and actually help rotate the cockpits, put on a new backdrop. So looks a lot cleaner now, which was partly my goal, make things look a little more professional. But yeah, enough about that. Let's talk about RaceRoom. So RaceRoom is a sim that I think is criminally underrated, especially because it has that sort of free-to-play model, which a lot of people don't really like. But behind that exterior is actually a pretty solid racing title. It is a little dated. It doesn't have things like dynamic tire wear, things like that, but it is still a great sim racing title. So I wanted to revisit it, look at some of the new improvements that have come recently. But first, I wanted to talk a little bit about getting RaceRoom working as good as possible on an open sim wheel. So RaceRoom is one of those titles that can be a little finicky with an open sim wheel. So let's dive in, and I want to show a few tips and tricks for getting getting RaceRoom working with the open sim wheel. So first off, you need to adjust the controller file. So I'll show you real quick how to get there. So you will go into your documents, your games folder, and then Simbin. And it's interesting because for some reason it picked up one of my old installs. So the current files that they're drawing from is RaceRoom Racing Experience install 2. So that's where all my settings are. You will go into your user data folder. This will be familiar for anyone else using ISI motor based titles. So you go there into control set, and the one I'm currently using is called SimRacingPaddock. And this will show all of the different control settings and everything you need. And this can be quickly overwhelming if you don't know what you're looking for. But there's one setting that you need to adjust for this open sim wheel to work well, and that is force feedback jolt magnitude. For some reason, with ISI Motor 2 based titles, there's this weird issue where if you have it above 0 and you hit a wall or you hit a curb particularly hard, it will make the steering lock in the other direction and basically whip the steering and make it sort of stuck until you hit another wall or a curb hard. So turn off the jolt force magnitude and then save the file. And then there are other things you can fine tune in here that you can't really fine tune in the game settings itself. So for example, you can change the rumble strip magnitude and frequency, which some people might want to do. For the pull factor, I might recommend turning it down a little bit so it's not as violent. That's one of the things with RaceRoom. Curbs can be very violent in this game. So let's fire up RaceRoom and see how this goes. So hold on, need to turn on the game capture. Make sure we have it set to capture full screen. But yeah, I haven't done RaceRoom in a while, so this should be quite a bit of fun. I know one of the recent updates was Twin Ring Motegi, which is a Japanese track, and from what I've heard, it is a lot of fun. It should bring back memories of Gran Turismo, because that was a predominant track in the game. There we go. It's picking it up. Hold on. I think I should turn down the music. So, turn down music so don't risk any copyright claim or anything like that, because that can be stupid. But yeah, so let's dive into single player practice. And I know one car that was recently added was into the GTR 1 class, the Nissan GTR GT1. So that should be a fun car to test out at Motegi. So it should be under T. Twin Ring Motegi, yes. And we'll do the full course. And then before we hit the track, I will show you guys how to configure the settings, or configure, because with OpenSimWheel, there are a couple things that need to be taken into consideration as well. And for the record, I'm running on SimUcube version 0.10. I know there are a couple new firmware releases that I need to load on, which I will do in the near future, and then I'll talk about that later on. But for the SimUcube, it can be a little finicky mapping the controls. So for example, when you're mapping the rotation, so the x-axis on this wheel, you need to make sure you are centered when mapping, because I'll show you an example. So steer left. All right, come on. Is it working? And then, or actually, let's do this. Steer right. I've had this issue before where if it's not centered, now it's working. So, they might have fixed that finally. So that's nice. But yeah, I have this set to 540 degrees of rotation because I think that will feel good for this. In a little bit, I'll show you my SimUcube settings. Everything else should be mapped just fine. I did that pre-stream. So let's jump into the car. Actually need to change the visual degrees of rotation real quick. By the way, I want to make sure that the chat audio is working well. I have a fan blowing, but hopefully the mic's not really picking it up too much. It's just way too hot. Okay. That's pretty matched. Also, make sure that you map ignition and starter in RaceRoom. By default, auto ignition and starter are off. So make sure that's properly mapped. RaceRoom is still my favorite sim in terms of sounds. Hold on, want to make sure you can hear it all right. But just this V8 of the GTR GT1, this is a beast. That backfire too. Oh man. That'll give you a kick in the seat of your pants. But yeah, the main parts where I have a gripe with RaceRoom is the tire model isn't nearly as good as competing sims, and let's get back on track. So the tire model isn't nearly as good as competing modern generation sims. And that's partly because RaceRoom is admittedly stuck on ISI Motor 2. Automobilista, they've actually made core code modifications to make it more diverse with the tire model and aerodynamics and everything. RaceRoom, it seems it just kind of stagnated with the basic physics. So hopefully, I know there's going to be possible engine changes when GTR 3 comes out, or if GTR 3 comes out, that should trickle down to RaceRoom. I'd hope that tire model improvements would be one of them. Now I got to relearn this track. Oh, that tunnel sound though, that's pretty awesome. It's been years since I've driven this track. That was like in Gran Turismo 4 or something. Little tire lock up there, but we're okay. But I remember there was this oval-ish circuit they did, Twin Ring Motegi. That was a lot of fun. In Gran Turismo 3, you would just soup up a car, wall ride, and just rake in the credits. But yeah, this feels like a fun car, all things considered. Really does remind me of that GTR GT1 that's in R Factor 2. Just with a better engine note. And then you can hear that beep. That's the downshift protection on this car. I think you can turn that off, but it's on by default to prevent you from shifting too early, over revving, damaging the engine. So it is fun just driving this car around on an empty track. Well, we should add some more cars, do a race. Thank you, B-Dog. Thank you for following. RaceRoom or Project Cars 2? I'd say, honestly, Project Cars 2 has more variety. You get the ice racing, you get the rallycross, you get a lot more bang for your buck, I think, with RaceRoom. So, or not RaceRoom, with Project Cars 2, you get a lot more bang for your buck. So, I'd say Project Cars 2 is a little more buggy, but all in all, it is a pretty fun racing title. So let's do single event. We will do the GTR 1 class. I think that would be fun. So you have the Ford GT, Saline, S7R, Nissan GTR, Gumpert, Apollo Sport, Koenigsegg, CCGT, and the Roof CTR 3. I think I'm going to stick with American. Okay, and then we will do Motegi again. And 21 opponents. We will do... Generally, I'm around 93% strength. RaceRoom is pricey. You can buy just about everything for about $50-ish, I think. If I remember correctly. So, we only have race 1. I'm going to turn off mechanical damage for this race. But we'll see how this is. 15 lap race around Motegi. Should be fun. I am going to switch to... actually, no. Never mind. I don't think I'm going to switch to sequential shifter. Because in the studio move, I forgot to replug in my shifter. So I'll just do paddles for now. My bad. Sorry, guys. But yeah, so far, I'm enjoying the feel. It's not as dynamic as other titles, so I'd say still R Factor 2 is my favorite feeling. This might be like third though, like in terms of driving feel and physics. Second, I think would be Automobilista, because they were really able to squeak so much out of the ISI Motor 2 engine. Okay, so let's see how this car handles. I totally just got caught sleeping on the start. Okay. That Gumpert just really chopped off my nose. Oh, that was a massive dive bomb. My bad. Cold brakes. I have to remember that. Okay. I might have braked a little early, but... Okay. Let's try this again. So, looks like this AI might be slightly kamikaze-esque. Let's try this again. Better start. Yeah, these guys are really aggressive. Just got a bump from behind. I don't know if I have like aggression maxed out or something. There's a guy on my inside, so I'm giving him room, and he rams me off the track. Okay. Come on. So yeah, AI needs work in Race Room. I think we can all go and say that. Brakes very early, too. Stay on the inside. Yeah, they brake so flippin' early. They just hand over the corner. I hesitated a bit there, but yeah. Gotta say, the cars look good. Colors might be oversaturated graphics-wise, but graphics-wise, I'm enjoying the look and feel. 3 wide into this corner. For the lead. Little lock up into the corner. But yeah, wow. It does seem like the AI takes a weird line. But it's like usually on a Assetto Corsa or some other Sims, especially like R Factor 2, I tend to do 93% AI and it's fairly competitive. This, I think I did 93 or 95% AI and it's like, I'm pulling away. I am having a lot of fun with this car, though. Nice handling. Can definitely tell it's American muscle. I'm not just gonna go for 15 laps like this. Let's change the AI strength. Yeah, we had it set to 93. Let's do 101. And then I don't see any like where for AI aggression. So we'll try this one more time. Just relatively quick race. Then we can... I don't have sim racing systems set up, unfortunately. I haven't really jumped into Assetto Corsa SRS yet. But we can look at servers. Usually, from when I last tried it out, it's generally just the free content. The ads on the loading screens are slightly annoying, but at least they give you something to read. So we're going to start 6th place, and let's see how this compares. Get my keyboard set down. Bad start. They still brake so early. Fury Firepower. I am going in a week and a half to Deep Silver headquarters to try out a preview of F1 2018. So yes, I am going to be driving F1 2018 soon. Open Sim Wheel or Fanatic Direct Drive 2? Honestly, I'd recommend the Open Sim Wheel. Open Sim Wheel's more versatile. It has the, in my opinion, having two separate boxes is a pro in my book. So it's like if something goes wrong with the motor, you can easily replace it, which likely won't happen. If something goes wrong with the electronics, which is more likely, the Open Sim Wheel is such a modular design, you only need to replace a component that goes bad. You don't have to replace the entire unit. And I think that having the Open Sim Wheel compatible with either, or with a wide variety of rims. So if you get the Fanatic Direct Drive 2, you're only compatible with Fanatic rims. If you get the Open Sim Wheel, you can use Fanatic rims if you buy the adapter. You can convert a Fanatic rim into a universal bolt pattern. You can even, I just lost the rear there, but you can even just get a high-end rim. So those possibilities are available for you. You're not locked down into an ecosystem with an OSW. Okay, let's get refocused. My goal is top 5. I don't know if that's going to happen, but we'll see. Come on, Kruger. They made a mistake. I can't make the move on the outside, though. But we're closing in. Got the slipstream down the hill. I got the run. He's gonna have the preferred line entering, but he sounds like he gave up the corner. Okay, we're good. Except, boom, we run wide. That's gonna give this roof some time to close in. But then he brakes way early for turn 1, and we got the spot. Okay. I should have been a little more left entering the corner. Bad exit. Usually I'm doing better than these cars in this sector. Little brake, get the car to rotate. There we go. But yeah, just these sounds, really immerses you in the experience. It just sounds so dynamic. Bad exit. Ease into that corner. Get good drive off. Just keep running wide that last corner. But hey, it's a more exciting race right now. Come on, there we go. I was trying to do the AI line and I just botched it right there. Big lockup. If I was in R Factor 2, that would have just murdered my tires. Looks like I'm closing in on Hohendal, or Hohenadel, however you pronounce that. Under a second back. Little overshooting on that corner. Love the sound of the car through that tunnel. That last corner's killing me. Fury, I do have a few streams of GTR2 on the channel. I have at least 2, I think. Whoa, okay. He just punched that gap. I couldn't close the door on him. But then he gets on the brakes way too early, gives me the corner. He might get the drive off though. He gives me a little bump in, and we are driving away. Okay. That's 6th place. My goal's top 5, and we're on lap 5. Okay. Review, that might be an interesting idea. I'm planning on doing a series talking about different racing games I've played over the years that helped shape my love for sim racing. So that could be a fun title to include on it. I keep on running wide on Motegi. Ah! Larg. Ay, ay, ay. I need to improve on that last corner. Because just went from 6th to 15th. Dang. But I'm placing the blame on that all on me. I think I prefer this saline. The spleen, though. But it's interesting, I'm not really feeling any fall off on the tires from after that spin. But you have to dive bomb to make these passes in RaceRoom. Just love these sounds, though. Ford GT versus Ford GT. Well, still a little wide, but nowhere near as bad as last lap. Okay. I think that was just kind of racing deal, but it just seemed like he wasn't aware that I was making a pass. Because that was in the second half of the corner, and should have known I would have already been there. Yes, Tomas, that is greatly agreed. And my driving skill needs some improvements here as well. I am so not used to twin ring Motegi. And now we are dead last. And just with the way these cars work, I bet I'll get to about 15th if I don't spin again. Okay, so that's how we get out of there. I gotta stop reading the chat, like right before going to a corner. Cool, for real, thanks for that though. Turbo power, so-so. I'm sucking right now. I'll put it that way. But it's all just my fault. Okay, I'm just gonna shut up for a little bit and drive. You guys chat amongst yourselves. Thank you, Dino, for subscribing. That's not the grassroots racing we're talking about, bro. Once you get the hang of it, Motegi is a fun track. But it is a little challenging. Especially this upcoming corner, because you're going downhill. You need to compensate your braking point because of that. Because if you brake normally how you would on a flat surface, you'd easily throw off the car into the corner. Then this one, you've seen how it's gotten me so many times. Hello, Champion Plays. How's it going? Hey Billy, how's it going? And thanks Dennis for subscribing. Yeah, I've messed up quite a few corners this race and it's thrown me way, way, way back. So Billy, how's your week been? Well, actually today is Monday, yeah. So, just starting the week. Yeah, I don't think I have enough time to catch up for Martin. Well, fair enough. I was thinking for a second, don't you already wear glasses? Looks like we're starting to close in. Just don't have enough time. Yeah, I'm happy I don't need glasses yet. A couple years ago, I had an issue with my eye that was thinking like, oh no, do I need glasses now? But it turned out to be just something else. So Billy, do you have any recommended cars in RaceRoom that I should take a look at? Right now, I'm just kind of cruising. I've written off this race. Ford GT GT1. Whoa, whoa. Yeah, that curb just pulled me off. When Codemaster is actually trying to make a game, they make good ones. That is a true statement. But it just seems like they've grown complacent with their game making. It really just seems that Codemasters is gotten to a point where they are fine making average instead of striving to make great. So we have 3 laps left, 13, 14, and 15. Okay. Then this misery will be over. Hey Norman, how's it going? If I'm doing some classic cars next, I need to hook up my shifter. So I'll do that after this race. And then we'll do it at a track I know, so hopefully I do well there. Okay, I think the tires are starting to drop off a bit. And that was a tank slapper. Yeah, I can start feeling the rear end stepping out on me. I do freaking love the sound in this. DTM 92 in mid-Ohio? That could be an interesting combination. Low fuel, 9.1 liters remaining. We should have enough fuel to finish. Codemasters, it was Toka, I think. That's where they really started doing a lot of racing games. But Codemasters, they've been around since like the 80s. Oh, yeah, you can see my right rear on the telemetry. Looks like it's getting torched. This was not a good race. Next race will go a lot better, guys, I promise. And that was painful. Hold on a second. I will be back in a sec. I need to plug in my shifter. Okay, there we go. Whew. Okay, continue. Let me check if this is... Oh, yeah, recognize device. So, primary functions. Shift up. There we go. Freaking love the Heusinkveld shifter, though. So much fun to use. Or wait, click the wrong thing. There we go. So we will do a little practice session, I think, first, before next race. So we were saying classic DTM. Oh, there's this new DTM, which is DTM 95, only one car, though. But let's do this DTM. And we've done American the past two cars, so... Let's see. I've never really given the Opel much driving. And let's do 97% AI. And we were saying Mid-Ohio. There we go. With the chicane. And we'll do 10-lap race. 10-lap race. And 12-minute practice. Why not? But yeah, classic cars really do well in this. Hold on. Yeah, we're good. Sometime I'll have to do like a custom championship or do a championship with sim racing system in the future. Wait, are there such thing as SR9? Okay, time to start practice. So as mentioned, by default, the cars will not automatically start. So map ignition, map starter. Or I think it's if you have the controls mapped, then it won't. And I guess you phase through into pits. I think I have auto clutch on, so I need to turn that off. I want to actually be on the outside of this car. Because they really gave up that corner. Oh. This is going to be a fun race, though, I think. Whoa, okay. Try to prep for getting him into this hairpin. Nope, not gonna make it work. Okay, hold on a sec. Need to tweak a couple settings. So vehicle settings. Custom, we are running 540 right now. I wish it was easier to adjust this. There we go. And then auto clutch off. Nope, it is not letting me adjust auto clutch. Okay. That's a little frustrating. Return to garage. Let's switch to race. Dino, I tried 101 and yeah, when I spun it just screwed everything up, but we'll do a quick 10-lap race and then see what's online. So I'll just use a clutch even though auto clutch is on. Oh, wow, okay. Robin's racing, boys. They're hitting each other for the lead. Wow, okay. And got a little rubbed. He's gonna go for the bump and run, and that hurt. Almost cut my finger on the shifter. Whoops. Ow. Be careful when wrecking. That's my advice. Ow. No blood, we're good. But now we have a little climb, so should make the rest of the laps a little more exciting. Need to still adjust some of the force feedback settings. It's still trying to rip the wheel on my hand a bit. Make sure to brake a little earlier next lap. So let's start making some moves. Here we go. I couldn't keep it on track. Up to 13th. Whoa. That curve is death. Okay, closing in on these two. Force the issue. Oh, he went wide. Whoops. This is fun, though. Really is fun. Didn't expect him to stop in the middle of that corner. Harry, I have my first impressions video on it. It's okay. I can't find a comfortable seating position with it. I just have not been able to find a comfortable position with it yet. And I'm still trying, but it's either too low or too close to my chest for the wheel. Well, there's 11th. I have no clue why he blinked his lights. Maybe to try psych me out? Trying to find a good spot to overtake. There we go, gotta run. And I almost... Okay. Don't know why he did that, but okay. Had like no situational awareness of me. Pinch him down a bit, and he gives up the corner. That's a 3-car battle ahead of us. A heated battle. The longer they battle, the more of a chance I can take them over. Two laps to go. Whoops. So weird. It almost seems like the AI has the capability to brake harder. So I know that ISI Motor 2 titles, I want to say the AI ran on a different physics engine than what the driver was using. Thank you, Harry, for sponsoring. Okay, thank you. But yeah, so I'm wondering about this same thing in RaceRoom, where the AI runs on a different, more simplified physics engine than what the driver's using, so that could allow them to maybe brake harder than I can. Because it seems like they're braking way later into that chicane bus stop. Not this one, but on the back straight. It seems like they're braking later, which, if I try that, I either lock up or I overshoot. I'm there. So you can see where that Audi just braked. I can't brake at that point. Whoops. Sorry, Audi. I guess he's out of here. But it just seems like they're braking way later into that corner at a point where I don't think with this physics for this car that this car can do. Looks like we're going to take home 8th this race, which I'm happy with. I'm happy with an 8th place this race. Okay, so let's look online now. Multiplayer. See if there's anything going on. Silhouette Sprint at RaceRoom Raceway. GT3 at Spa. Why not? Except 62-minute practice. Yikes. Oh, that's just sim racing system practice. That's why. Bathurst. 2 people in. slightly irritating that there isn't much activity around here. Wish there was more. But hey, let's just cruise around in Spa with some people. Why not? But just let's take a minute and look at this roster. All of these different GT3 cars. Z4 GT3 is still one of my favorite sounding race cars of all time. Then there's obscure ones. For example, outside of R Factor 2, there's no Bentley Continental GT3 in sim racing. The Roof RT12R in this and iRacing, I think. The P45 Competizione. I think I pronounced that all right. I need to improve that because ACC is coming out. The Callaway is another great car. The 911 GT3R. Let's try this one out. Because we can. Yeah, time zones can be very tricky. Hold on a second. Got my firewall warning. Allow, yes. To make sure we don't run into any issues. Oh boy, gym day today. Hello, DWE92. How's it going? We're saying key to continue. So now we get to see how this performs online. Just practicing, not actually going to be racing, unfortunately. This is just practice for Sim Racing System. Later on, I'll have to try some Sim Racing System events. Actually, wait. Gotta switch to shifting now. Ooh, love that flat 6 sound though. So control settings, primary. Shift up, shift down. Because this car uses paddles in real life, we are going to use it in the sim. But just the dimension and depth to the sounds in this, it's remarkable. Wow, this car is very lively. I can tell already. And I'm not sure if this car likes trail braking. Gearing's a little off. Did ACC have a preview video of the Porsche already? I'm not sure if I've seen a preview video of the Porsche in ACC. I'll take a look later. Tim Chitwood, I know that name. Hey Jesse, how's it going? So after a lap, I'm going to adjust the gearing. I want to run one lap, get a time, and then we'll run another lap after we make some adjustments to this car. Jesse. You can't adjust the gearing in these cars? Could have sworn you could. That stinks. I have no clue what kind of lap I'm going to get here. Fastest time in this session's a 2:18, it looks like. Ha ha. 226. So he would be faster than the 5th place guy, but let's take a look. Nope, can't adjust gearing, okay. So, let's do an experiment. 20 liters, so reduce that. Reduce the rear ride height. That should like lower the wing, I think. Are you able to adjust the wing in this? I'm not seeing anything for changing the rear wing. That's steering, okay. A wing, here we go. 9 degrees. So let's see if that improves anything. It should. It's weird. In this right now, I guess the way I have my force feedback set up, I'm not feeling the wheel get heavy under load. So I might need to adjust that later on. So far, it is feeling pretty good. Just, it seems like the force feedback is missing a bit of that pizzazz that I wish it had. Has a little bit of disconnect between the wheel and what the car is doing. But one of the nice things with RaceRoom is there are like a metric ton of force feedback options to adjust. So with that, I can always do some fine tuning. And then when I find a good setup I like with the SimuCube, I might make a video talking about it. Because I have a few people asking me to do like a direct drive wheel setup guide for different sims. I've had a few emails asking about that, so I might work on that. That would be a fun guide to make. But yeah, it seems like we do have a little more speed. So let's see if this translates into an improved lap time. Oh, big smoke. I like the handling of this car though, especially when the tires are heated up. It is still a little tail happy, as you can see right there, but fun car. May also simply be this Porsche isn't the fastest car for this track. Because GT3, balance of power, or balance of performance. I always say balance of power, it's balance of performance. But who knows, the other cars might be better than this one on this track. Spa is a fun track, but it is very tricky because it's a mix of high speed, low speed. On the bright side, there's very long runoffs, but if you even breathe at them on a title such as iRacing, you get a 1X. There we go. Gonna wash out a bit through this corner. Crack the throttle, get the car to turn in a bit. There we go. This is a better lap. Man, getting that car woe down there is no small feat. Almost cut 4 seconds off my lap. But getting Rouge, or how do you pronounce it? Rouge? Getting that corner right, you really at, that's a priority. Because you have this long straight, get it wrong and you're gonna lose time no matter what. A little wide. So, I hate to cut the stream relatively short, but I have some things I have to do this afternoon. But I'm just going to share some of my closing thoughts so far from revisiting RaceRoom. So, RaceRoom, as mentioned, is a really underrated racing title because of the pricing model that it chose to adopt. I'd say if it was all this content available for a flat $70 and they marketed it like that, because you can get all this content for $60, $70. But if RaceRoom marketed it that way, I think people would be looking at this game with a lot more of a positive light. But the reality is they aren't marketing it like that. They're marketing it as a free-to-play title, and that's one of the reasons I think it's really struggled. But the sounds in this game are second to none. They're some of the best sounds of all of they are the best sounds in sim racing. The depth, the immersion factor, the layers, that not just the engine sound, the transmission sound, the gear shifting sound, the sound of dirt being kicked up into the undercarriage. It all just is blended together near perfectly. And it adds to that. The physics, they do leave a little bit to be desired, and that's largely in part because it is an ISI motor-based title. It is that kind of title you are going to feel a little more slip in the rear than I would personally like. That's a trait of the ISI Motor 2 engine. You don't get as good a feel of the rear of the car. And that is unfortunate. But they do what they can with it, and it still works great. The tire model is weak. The tire model, it doesn't have flat spotting or things like that. And it's not as dynamic as its modern competitors. Heck, Automobile said they made the code changes to really flesh out their tire model. And then, of course, iRacing, Assetto Corsa, R-Factor 2, they all have this more dynamic tire model. Heck, even Project Cars 2 has a good tire model. And then the AI. AI in this need work. There's no doubt about that. They brake way too early, they are way too aggressive, and it seems like at times they lack situational awareness. It just seems like that's the case, and you can have okay races with AI, but not to the level of Assetto Corsa or Assetto Corsa post version 1.14 or R Factor 2 or even Automobilista. And it's a pain. So hopefully in the future we can see things improve for RaceRoom, or just GTR 3 improve from that, and then it trickles down to RaceRoom. Who knows? But they're on the right track. It is fun to drive, and that's one of the big things. RaceRoom is a fun sim to drive. So yeah, that's some of my thoughts, and I'm gonna call it, guys, and I might try stream tonight, I'm not sure, but I will keep you guys posted. But for now, I'm William Marsh for the Sim Racing Paddock, and you have a great rest of your day.